Hi, welcome back to Everyday Behavior. My name is Mary Ann Shepard, and in this video we're talking about generalization. So this whole series has been about discrete trial training. But one of the things that is a criticism of discrete trial training is generalization, that the skills, you're teaching such discrete skills and such explicitly, or so explicitly, that the skills don't generalize. So if you think about the letter A, how many different variations are there of an A? There's a big A, there's a little a, there's, different fonts of A. So, you've got all of these, like our little a versus our little, I can't remember what this is specifically called when you're referring to that. But there are a lot of presentations to A. But to each of these stimuli, you respond with A. And so when we're looking at generalization, if you're only teaching this skill with this uppercase blocked, very distinct A, then some children, and this is one of the features of autism, that generalization is really hard. There was one child that I once heard of. I didn't particularly work with this specific child, but had learned how to complete math facts like 2 plus 2 equals, with the line below, and they learned to complete them this way. Absolutely could not do math with 2 plus 2 equals, with the little 2 equal sign. And so they had learned it one way, could not then generalize math and math facts from the vertical to the horizontal presentation. And so you want to make sure that knowing that generalization is a specific skill or a specific area that children with autism may struggle, that you're planning to generalize this skill from the start. And so generalization is when the behavior occurs in a location or to a stimulus other than the way that they were taught. And so you have a couple of different types of generalization. One is stimulus generalization. So that's responding to a range of stimuli. And that's what I have down here below with all of the different variations of A. But you also want to have response generalization. So if you're working on greetings, it may be that the individual comes in and says, hi, or good morning, or hello, or what's up. There are a lot of different responses to greet someone. How are you today? And so you can think of greetings can be a wide range of responses. And so how can you generalize from hi or good morning to a variety of morning greetings or afternoon greetings, greetings across the day. And so we'll talk about that with generalization across time. And you also want to look at setting generalization. So if you teach an individual to label their colors in one location, can they generalize that to other locations? If you teach them to wash their hands in the clinic, okay, now we need to work on washing our hands at home, washing our hands in a restaurant, washing our hands at a gas station. So where are all of the settings that an individual may need to engage in this behavior? And so you want to make sure that you're generalizing that across as many settings as possible. And so we talked about the settings or generalization settings. You want to generalize across time. So greetings, you want to greet in the morning, good morning. You want to greet in the afternoon, good afternoon. You want to greet in the evening, good evening. So you want to teach the behavior throughout the day at various times of the day. You want to generalize across settings. So like we talked about, you want to teach them whatever it is, labeling their animals, doing cow noises or animal noises across settings. But it's also important to generalize across people because individuals present things in very specific ways, and without being aware of it, sometimes we may be giving hints or clues or other ways for the child to learn the skills specific to us. And so we want to make sure that we're not just teaching with one specific aide, one specific therapist, one specific teacher, but that multiple people, parents, teachers, grandparents, siblings, a variety of teachers, a variety of therapists are all working on teaching that same exact skill. So be very careful not to allow the learner to become too dependent on one specific instructional set of variables. Okay, so you want to vary as many variables as possible. So I want to briefly touch on our instructional hierarchy. And so when you think about our instructional hierarchy, there at the base is that accuracy or acquisition of the skill. So your foundation is making sure that the individual has acquired this skill. So you want to teach this skill and teach for accurate responding. Maybe you're utilizing errorless learning strategies in this behavioral acquisition. Once they're accurate in a skill, then you want to teach them to do that skill fluently, to do it quickly. So every time they see a cow, they say cow. Every time they see a sheep, they say sheep. Every time they see, the sink, they quickly wash their hands. It's so frustrating when my daughter is so slow at washing her hands. I'm like, just get the pump of soap. Scrub those little hands, rinse those little hands. Let's do this fast. And so you want to teach them to do the skill accurately. You want to teach them to do the skill quickly. And then once they can engage in the behavioral skill accurately and quickly, you then want to work on your generalization of this skill to across whatever that is. Across settings, across learners, across settings, across instructors, and across time. And then you want to work on that maintenance probing. And so really think about not just teaching the skill to accuracy, but teaching the skill to accuracy, to fluency, to generalization, to maintenance. Make sure that you go all the way through, because if you stop at that acquisition phase, if you're just looking at getting them to 80% accuracy, you're missing so many other components of the skill. And so make sure that you're teaching the whole dynamic, the whole pyramid of the skill. Thank you as always for watching our trainings and our videos. Thank you again to the Oklahoma State Department of Education for helping make these videos possible. You can find additional resources and materials on our website at everydaybehaviors.com. But I also encourage you to like or follow us on Facebook to get updated materials and to see our series as they continue to release. I also encourage you to hit the red subscribe button below on YouTube and watch for our podcast with Everyday Behavior with Dr. Mary Ann. Thank you. Have an excellent day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.